I never thought I'd be making this video. Honestly, I'm still trying to process what happened. I set up a security camera outside my house a few months ago, mostly for peace of mind. You know, to keep an eye on packages, make sure everything's okay when I'm away. It's been pretty boring, mostly just catching stray cats and the mailman. But a few nights ago, that all changed. I was just scrolling through the footage from the previous night, like I sometimes do, and something stopped me in my tracks. The timestamp was 3:17 a.m. At first, I couldn't even believe what I was seeing. I must have replayed it a dozen times, zooming in, trying to make sense of it. What my camera caught that night, it's something I can't explain. And that's why I'm sharing this with you today. Because maybe, just maybe, someone out there can help me figure this out. So let's go back to the beginning. The night it happened was completely ordinary. I remember it was a Tuesday. I worked late, came home, had dinner, watched a bit of TV, and went to bed around midnight. Nothing felt strange, nothing was out of place. The house was quiet, the neighborhood was asleep. My camera is motion activated, so it only records when it detects movement. Usually, the only clips I get overnight are from a possum that likes to wander through my yard or maybe a car driving by late. But this was different. When I checked the notifications the next morning, I saw a string of alerts all clustered around 3:15 to 3:20 a.m. That was the first red flag. It's never that active. I opened the first clip, timestamped 3:17 a.m. The night vision was on, so everything was in that familiar black and white. My front porch was empty. The street was quiet. For the first 10 seconds, nothing happened. I almost skipped to the next clip, thinking it was just a glitch, maybe a bug flying in front of the lens. And then I saw it. At the very edge of the frame, a flicker of movement. It was a shape, tall and incredibly thin, emerging from the shadows by my neighbor's hedge. It wasn't an animal, and it definitely wasn't a person. The way it moved was unnatural. It wasn't walking. It was more like it was gliding, just hovering a few inches above the ground. My heart started pounding. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what I saw. Even though I was watching it hours later in broad daylight, it just stood there, perfectly still, for almost a full minute. The timestamp ticked by 3:18 a.m. What was it doing? It felt like it knew it was being watched. And then it did something that I absolutely cannot explain. It raised one of its long, thin arms and pointed directly at my front door. It held the pose for a few seconds. I was frozen, just staring at my screen. What did that mean? Was it a threat, a warning? Before I could even process the gesture, it slowly lowered its arm and just vanished. It didn't walk away. It didn't run. It just faded out, like smoke, dissolving back into the shadows it came from. The clip ended and my yard was empty again. The whole event lasted just under 2 minutes. I immediately started scrubbing through the rest of the footage from that night. There was nothing. Before 3:17 a.m., just an empty street. After 3:20 a.m., the same. It was like this creature appeared out of thin air and disappeared just as quickly. I checked my neighbor's camera footage, but theirs didn't capture anything at all during that time. It's like it was only visible to my camera in that specific spot. I spent the entire day researching, looking for anything similar. I searched for strange sightings, local legends, anything. I found stories of shadow people, Slender Man legends, but nothing matched the specific way this thing moved or behaved. The gliding, the pointing, the way it just vanished into nothingness. I've been sleeping with the lights on ever since. Every little noise outside makes me jump. Was it just a trick of the light? A really weird glitch in the camera software? I've tried to debunk it every way I can. I went outside and checked the area. There were no footprints, no broken branches, no sign that anything had been there at all. It's like it was a ghost on the film, but it felt too real. The intention behind its movement, the way it paused and pointed, it felt deliberate, it felt intelligent. I'm not the type to believe in paranormal stuff. I've always been a skeptic. I look for logical explanations. But for this, I've got nothing. I've rewatched the footage hundreds of times, and every single time, I get the same feeling of dread. What did it want? Why my house? Is it coming back? These are the questions that keep me up at night. I know posting this online opens me up to ridicule. People will say it's fake, that I edited it. But I swear to you, this is the raw, unedited footage from my camera. This is what I saw. I'm hoping that by sharing this, someone out there might have seen something similar. Maybe you have an explanation, or maybe you've had an experience you can't explain either. I've uploaded the clip so you can see it for yourselves. Watch it closely. Look at the way it moves, the way it just appears and disappears. Tell me what you think. Am I going crazy, or did my camera actually capture something that isn't from this world? Any theories, any ideas, please leave them in the comments below. I feel like I need to understand what this was. Sharing it feels like the only thing I can do right now. It's a little terrifying to put this out there, but I feel like I have to. Thank you for watching, and for listening to my story. I'll keep you all updated if anything else happens. Stay safe out there.